What's up, guys? This is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. Super stoked today to have Ryan from High Carb Regenerator. We're going to go into Xero shoes, our stories with it, and a special sale going on right now. Let's check it out.
This is Ryan over at High Carb Regenerator. I got Chris Kendall over at the Raw Advantage with me today. We're going to be talking about not diet at all. We're going to be actually talking about barefoot shoes, our favorite barefoot shoes. The sale that's going on right now for the next, 12 or 14 days, something like that. There's going to be a link down in the description section. Go check it out. They're an amazing shoe company. This is going to be more of a conversational thing. This is not really an interview. We both, actually, the reason I found Chris and asked him to do an interview with the whole, about the Raw was because I saw that he liked barefoot shoes. And that's a big sticking point with me. You know, I see people wearing these like removable coffins on their feet, and I'm just like I can't understand why people want to do this to themselves. Yeah. Largely because of my background. And so we're both going to talk about kind of why we got into barefoot. While I'm talking, I might as well blabber on about why I got into it. I've kind of always been overweight. I was the fat kid growing up, but I had terrible feet. So I couldn't go do the things like running and jumping and all that other stuff that people did. Even bike riding was a little bit of a challenge for me. And, you know, my parents would take me to the foot doctor, and the foot doctor was like, well, he's basically screwed, you know, because my mom is 4'11", right? So she's not very tall. And they said that when I was inside before I popped out, my feet were like angled wrong, and because of that, my talus bone developed wrong, and it dislocated every time I took a step. So it basically acted like a pendulum. And before my surgery, I was missing 33% of my ankle bone.
Oh, wow.
So because of that, I really couldn't like these stabilizer shoes were so terrible. And the way I got into barefoot was, I don't want to go on and on about my story, but basically, suffice it to say, I was really trying to lose weight. I hadn't really come across raw vegan yet. I had lost a ton of weight initially on keto, and then it wasn't working anymore, and it was like poisoning me, which is how I ended up going into raw vegan initially. But I was out one time in a pair of Brook Beasts. Now, these things are, you know, trying to control your foot. You know, your foot can't do anything that it wants to. And I'll remember the exact spot I was at. I was in a place called Red Hill, Pennsylvania, and it's just north of Philadelphia. And I was trying to run, and I started vomiting. Yikes. Because I was in so much pain from these shoes.
Wow.
I took the shoes off, and I ran back barefoot in no pain whatsoever. This crazy foot of mine, I had no pain whatsoever. And I started researching into this. I'm like, why am I not in pain? You know, that you see the foot doctors, basically tell you you're screwed. You hit the wrong lottery and everything like that. And you walk home, because I've always liked being in bare feet. Yeah. And I ran home barefoot. Like I never been able to run like in one, like 10 minutes straight, like never been able to do that. Right. And I ran home barefoot, but none of these shoe companies were around yet. And then shortly after that, this book came out called Born to Run. This book called Born to Run. Yeah. And I was on my way back one time to Cleveland, visiting my family here in Cleveland from Philly when I still lived in Philly. The book came out. I'm not a huge fan of reading. I like listening to books. So I bought the book on Audible. I listened to the whole book on the way there. I'm like, there's something to this. So I got the running kit from Luda Sandals, and I made my own, but I didn't reverse the material. So I did it wrong, right? Yeah. And then I saw this crazy dude with curl hair, Steve Sashin, and he was selling his do it your own way kit, whatever, cheaper. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I already screwed this one up. Let me try. I'll buy this. But it was invisible shoes. He kind of already did it for me. I just had to lace it up myself. Yeah. I actually have those things still in the other room. Yeah. And that's how my journey got started. And I actually was able to run. Now, after the surgery, my ankle's fixed. I can't really run too much, but I have basically learned how to walk. I'm 42, and I'm finally able to walk for the first time because of these shoes. Yeah. And it's been, so this is why I spread the message, because I see a lot of it after I've learned how to walk myself.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, I mean, they're basically dragging a leg around with them or something like that. And they're, like I remember one time I was at in Emmaus, and people probably haven't heard of Emmaus, but they know Rodale. Rodale runs Runner's World, Emmaus. This is Runners, this is where it's called Rodale Publishing, and it's out of Emmaus. And there's a ton of running stores there because of it. And I was in one of the running stores in this. I mean, I'm not making fun of her because, I've had weight issues too. But this enormous woman was in the corner, just unhealthy as all get out. And she's yelling at me for having these barefoot sandals on. She's like, you've got to have corrective footwear. You're going to be in so much trouble. And I looked at her. I said, I would never take advice from somebody as unhealthy looking as you.
Yeah.
And she got so mad, and they actually probably kicked me out of the store, and I never went back. But like, I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? It irritated me because I know the history with this foot of mine. I probably could have handled it a little different, but I'm Irish, right? So we flip out a little bit. And, I probably could have, but like, I know my past and how much pain I've gone through. I actually at one point had 450 pairs of shoes.
Wow.
Because I was trying to find anything that was comfortable. And then I find these barefoot sandals.
You're a verified shoeophile.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, but it's made me a lot of money because most of them were Jordans and stuff like that I barely wore. And I sold all of those things. I mean, you should see the amount of money those things go for.
Make a lot from that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like shoes too. I probably have, right now I probably have about 13, 14 pairs.
Yeah. It's kind of an addiction because you've only got 2 feet, right? I mean, anywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how I got into it, and I'll never go back. I'll never go back. I try to get my dad, because he's got foot problems. He won't listen to me. No. I'm like, well, when you're at your house, you don't wear shoes, and you're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Those closest to you are much less likely to see you an expert in anything. It's a sad reality. But I have a very similar story, similar-ish story to you. And I just wanted to ask, because we both actually got introduced into Xero shoes when they were first invisible shoes. My first pairs were the do-it-yourself kits as well, that were invisible, and just the square that you cut out and measure and all that stuff. And I was trying to recall, because I'm guessing that was around 2009 or so. Do you remember when they switched over to 2000 or to Xero? Was it like 2010, 11?
2012, I think.
2012. Okay.
I think, if you really want to know that, I'll link it here. I interviewed him on my channel. I'll put a card here. I believe he told me when he switched over in that interview. So if you want to see an interview with the CEO of the company, I'll put a card here.
And I'll link that below as well. I want to do an interview with Stephen as well at some point, because it's definitely changed my life. I'm the exact same. I wouldn't go back. I mean, I do wear other shoes for skateboarding, because skateboarding in minimalist footwear can be really challenging on the feet, especially when you're jumping down stuff, right? So I still wear skate shoes, but if I'm not wearing skate shoes, I'm either barefoot or wearing Xero shoes. And, my story does actually start with skateboarding. I've been skateboarding since I was 6 years old. I'm the same as you, 42 years old. And when I was about 15, 16, I started having major ankle and arch issues. And I went to the doctors, and they said my arches were falling, collapsed arches, and causing pain on the insides of my knees and my ankles and my feet, right, in general. And I remember I was given some like really expensive $300 or $400 custom orthotics, but they were plastic. Like, they're literally hard, like rock hard plastic that I'd put under my sole, and it sucked. Like I
completely forgot about those. Yeah, I had those myself, and I actually had one shatter and go through my foot.
Yeah, because they were made out of like a really hard polymer, right? And like, I mean, you could get different ones. I remember there was options to have like a soft overlay and stuff like that, but I ended up just getting the plastic that you put your old insole over top, and I didn't like it. I really didn't.
No, I hate to cut you off, but like, I actually remember that, and he was all excited one time. I had a bunch of those. None of them worked. He was all excited because his new carbon fiber material was coming out, right? Space age material. That is the one that broke. How they're like little squares and stuff. It cracked.
Fibers.
It sent fibers into my foot.
So sharp. I've cut myself on the carbon fiber on surfboards and stuff like that, and Yeah, that stuff is incredibly sharp. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I was using those for a while, and it's really funny because like you just trust doctors, you just think that they know what's up. And when you really think about it, though, I mean, that's the thing that makes the most sense with minimalist footwear is like actually working your feet, and like how we're designed to move and how our feet are designed to move and to grip the earth and to use the muscles. But when you're using an arch support or you're using custom orthotic, it's just like using a crutch, right? And
Yeah.
when you're injured, a crutch can be helpful, but once you've gotten past that stage, you got to strengthen the muscle. Otherwise, it cripples. A crutch used too much cripples. And it's the same with a custom orthotic. It's the same with too much arch support. It's just so beneficial. And so I started researching other ways, and I started getting into just barefoot walking itself. And then I started getting into different barefoot footwear. And the first kind that I ever tried was a product called Five Fingers, which I'm sure you've heard of. Lots of
Yeah.
people
I
have heard of.
have 3 pair.
So I tried those. My feet weren't perfect for them. My pinky toe got squeezed. It always hurt. I could only wear them for a specific amount of time before my feet would just hurt. They smelled really bad. They were a
Oh,
pain
so
in the
bad.
ass to put on and take off. And while part of me kind of likes the way they look, another part of me just didn't really love the way they looked. And if someone else loves them, that's great. But I
Yeah.
wanted to find something different. The next stuff I found was called Zen Gear, and this was all probably around 2008 time. And
I've heard of them too.
they're basically neoprene socks with a little pad on the bottom, and they feel like little ninja socks with a little ninja toe. They were fun, but they didn't feel like a shoe. They felt more like a sock, and they did start to wear out and stuff. And so I continued looking, and then I found New Balance Minimus. That was my first like quality kind of minimalist footwear, and I'll admit I loved the heck out of those. But they started to get to a point where they were discontinuing them, and then I found Invisible shoes, and I basically got the main Haracha and the do-it-yourself kit, and I just loved it, man. I absolutely loved it. Funny quick story. I remember I had a pair of those. I lost them. I traveled to Hawaii, and I was like walking down the road, like literally a road between two cities on Big Island. Uh,
Okay.
and I was just walking, and literally no word of a lie, middle of the road, there was an unopened, uncut Xero shoes Haracha there, like just on the
What?
ground in front of me. I'm not even lying. It was like I had lost mine previously. I was in Los Angeles and I went to Hawaii for a trip. And it was just I'm walking along the abandoned highway and it's just like boom, a new one right there. And picked it up and I made those up. And it was shortly after there I became an affiliate. So I'm an affiliate for Xero as well as you are, right?
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I loved them so much. And bare footwear between those and all the other ones I tried drastically changed my ankles and my knees and my hips and my lower back. Just building the muscles from the ground up. And I've tried numerous types of them. I think it's kind of important to note. I remember, I don't know if you had this experience, but when I first put on Xero shoes, and actually it wasn't the Xero at first, it was the Five Fingers. I tried to
Okay.
run and I hadn't run in them yet. And I was never a big runner, but I just ran for like 15 minutes. And because of the different foot strike, and I was really trying to do like the born to run kind of like method of running, my
Yeah.
calves were ruined for like a week and a half. Like I
Yeah.
overdid it. And after a
Yeah.
while, you build the right musculature up and all that stuff. But man, I just love the minimalist footwear. It makes so much sense from every angle you look at it. And it's definitely impacted my life in a positive way.
Yeah, the Minimus, I actually never had a pair. Sandy, my ex, actually had 2 pair.
Yeah.
I think they stopped making them after that huge lawsuit with Vibram.
Oh, wow. No way, because they were using the Vibram soles.
No, no. Vibram got sued. Like it was a class action lawsuit. A bunch of people who had, sore calves afterwards, they sued Vibram. And I think shortly after that, all the other main shoe companies decided to back out of that industry.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, that's why I always
Yeah.
wondered and I was sad because I did use two pairs of them. I really did love them. And at that time, Xero didn't really have shoes. They mostly just had the sandals.
Not till
And
2017.
yeah, so I mean, so for a long time I just used the Xero sandals. And then once they started having the shoes, I've gone through a lot of them. I think I've had like 8 pairs. And when I say go through, I mean I still have them because I haven't worn any of them out, even my original one,
No,
except for the one
they're
I
so
lost.
hard to wear out.
Yeah, 5,000 mile warranty, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so they're pretty damn good. I did in
Yeah.
my motorcycle accident, I did have one pair of Priuses cut off of me. I was kind of sad, but they gave me a new pair, so I was pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, if you send a picture of your destroyed shoes within 24 months, I think they'll send you another pair.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it is.
pretty dang ridiculous.
Yeah. Have you ever had Vivo? I had one pair of Vivo, and the quality just I couldn't, I didn't like them.
Yeah, no, once I really got on Xero, and like I haven't really desired any other kinds. I've seen other types and stuff, but none of
Yeah,
them have really attracted me as much. So I can't say from my own personal experience the wearability of them, but yeah, I haven't tried those ones myself.
yeah. And so, what was your kind of gateway into Xero shoes? I guess I will both talk about that. Like, what was your first actual Xero shoe? Do you remember?
Yeah, the first one I had was the do-it-yourself kit, just the Hiracha
No, I mean,
sandal.
once you got into like normal,
Oh, the
what we think of as footwear. What do you remember? What your first normal shoe was from them?
I believe, if I think right, I think it might have been the Hannah.
Yeah.
It's either the Hannah or the Bodhi. I think it was called the Bodhi, which was like a deck shoe. Um,
Okay. Yeah, I
and
never
I
had those.
loved both of those a lot. The Hannah is one of my favorite for sure.
Yeah, I actually I brought them here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, these are my
Those,
these
yeah,
are my gateway drug. Oh man, the background. Let me turn the background thing off. My gateway drug.
yeah. No, those are amazing. They're so dang comfortable and they go with everything and they're so light and so easy to use.
All right. So yeah, here's my gateway drug into but these are still my favorite shoes by
Yeah.
far of theirs. I
The
love all their other shoes, but that's my go-to.
Aptos.
Aptos. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are
that's
sweet
what
too.
I use mostly. I mean, and it's kind of funny. My friend was recently saying like, "Hey, you trying to be Bruce Lee or what?" And I don't know how I
They
didn't
do
recognize them,
they
but they
do actually
totally
look that.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're but yeah, both of those are like the simplest, lightest, like easiest ones. I guess they do have a new one out that just came out too that is kind of similar. It's actually lighter than both of these ones. I'll show you that one too, and it's a really good price point for the new ones, which are 20% off right now, right? We got the Sunrise. So
Sunrise. Yeah, I bought those. They're
you
coming
got those.
on.
I haven't tried them out yet. Do you like them so far?
They're supposed to get to here this week, so hopefully I'll get to try them this week. But yeah, those things are sweet. As soon as I saw them, I'm like, you may as well just take my money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
I might have to get those ones. I can't decide between those ones and I'm also even kind of thinking about these scramblers, but I
bought
don't
those.
wear mid tops quite as often. And these ones look sick.
They're so 80s. I had to buy them.
I have a lot of pairs of Prios, and I really
So do
like the
I.
Prios. Do you have the
Yeah,
what is it?
yeah.
Um,
Well, these are my favorite color Prios right here.
yeah,
But you can see I've worn them 3 times. I've owned them for 2 years. 3 times I've worn them.
true, true shoeophile. So do you
Yeah,
have the what is it? HFC, is it? Or
HFS. Yeah,
HFS, the holy effing S, right? Isn't that what?
yeah.
Yeah,
These are not my favorite. The Hana are.
yeah,
But these, if you have a pair of these, don't bother with the ones he's got behind you. It's
yeah.
going to be the same shoe.
Yeah. Although these are
Um,
20% off, right? They're
yeah,
are those like
but
so breathable, like that they
it's
feel like
ridiculous. It's
yeah,
ridiculous. These shoes are so amazing, and these are actually my cycling shoes.
yeah.
But the bottom of these is so much. The bottom of these
Like a
is so
tire.
much better than the bottom of these, and they continue that same. I don't like this bottom as much,
No.
or the tread as much. This tread is incredible.
Yeah, most of the ones I have the Toronto here too, which I like. They're the hemp ones. But all the ones I have that same classic kind of tread or very similar.
Yeah.
They're yeah,
Whoa,
yeah,
just got flashed.
yeah.
But yeah. And then the last pair I brought here to show was these things, these 360s.
Yeah, the 360s, how are they?
I like them, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't use them for lifting, which is what they're built for
Yeah,
at all. If you're watching this and you're a lifter, Hanas, 100%. Get the Hanas as tight as you possibly can. Or he's got a new one with Forza or something like that, lifting shoe. But I would not buy the 360 for lifting. The 360 reminded me of the old Adidas like soccer shoes with that
yeah,
bottom.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Just a little
anybody
different.
who grew up in the 80s or 90s knows this little circle bottom
Yeah,
with that Adidas, the gum finish. But yeah, I don't know. It's the 360s to me. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy them. They're an all right shoe, but the Hana, if you needed like a gateway into it, the Hana for me is that shoe.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I don't have a pair of those right now, but I'm tempted to get a new pair. And then otherwise for me, it's probably the Aptos for like
Yeah.
a really chill shoe. And when it's summertime, I tell you, I love the Amiri Cloud. This is
I
my
really
favorite
wish they'd
sandal.
brought some down. Yeah, their sandals are insane.
Yeah, and this one has just a little bit of cushion in the forefoot. Really nice. I have their water shoe too. I haven't used it too much. I have one that I'm going to grab that I forgot. And this is the one I use it for the gym, which since you're talking about the gym, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. I'll just be here waiting.
But I really like it. The Speed Force.
That's his favorite shoe.
Really?
Yeah.
Stevens? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Is that a sweet shoe?
It is
This
good.
is turning into something I don't know if anybody's going to want to watch at this point, but
That's a conversation, and it's about all the different ones, right?
yeah. Yeah. All right. So this is the thing. If you're going to wear Xero shoes with no socks,
Yeah.
they are not the best at repelling smell.
No.
They're not good at that. So get used to knowing how to wash your shoes.
But I tell you though, I mean, any shoe you wear barefoot is gonna smell, like if you wear it all the time barefoot. And the thing that I do love about Xero is I don't know about you, but for these guys, like I just throw them right in the washing machine. Sometimes
that's what I mean. Yeah. I just throw them right in the wash and they're fine.
Yeah, and I mean, I've even thrown them in the dryer. They've never shrunk or anything like that. Sometimes I've dried them outside in the sun, because they're such thin material and like super light and quick drying anyway, right? But
I got to ask you more about that shoe. So is that shoe really sweet?
It is good. There's one thing I don't like about it, and it's only for one specific thing. If it's wet outside and like you're running through wet grass or something, it has this. Is kind of hard because it's getting dark here. I'll try and turn on this other light real quick. But yeah, there we go. So it has this kind of rubberized coating around the toe, right? Like a lot of the other ones do. But right on the tip, it's not. It's just the material. So if you're running in wet grass, the tip gets wet and you can get wet on the toe. It's not a huge deal, but it's not my favorite. Whereas, a lot of the other ones, they have, like the ones you showed, they have the rubber cap around the whole thing, like this one here, right? Well,
yeah.
So I would probably prefer this one. I do like the look of that Prio Neo. I have had a lot of the regular Prios and really like them as well, but that's the only complaint I have about these. Otherwise, they're my go-to shoe for going to the gym or running or anything like that. I have the winter boot too. Do you have that?
No, I don't know why. I live, it's always, winter here. I don't know. I don't have, it's the only boot I don't have because I bought these that are behind me.
Yeah.
That's actually the reason I even wanted to do this video. These things are so awesome.
So bad.
So backwards. They look sweet to me because they're actually flexible. I have the Excursion and I have the Daylight Hiker. I actually have the old Daylight Hiker and the new Daylight Hiker. And I actually like the old Daylight Hiker better because the sole is way more flexible. And it looked like these.
Yeah.
That, I mean, he was just moving the sole of that thing like nothing. Yeah. And I'm hoping it's as flexible. And I'm a pretty big into cycling, and that's like a cycling tread.
It's sick. That's a sick one. See, the winter boot is good for like really cold temperatures, being from Canada and like minus 30, 40 sometimes. I've worn them out and really enjoy them, but they are a little bit more stiff, like they aren't quite the thinness of the Cloud or any of these other ones, but they aren't like a regular shoe. You can still move your foot and it's flat, but it's got a little bit more thickness to it because it has the reflective material underneath to keep your foot even warmer.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine, especially if you're coming from an old standard shoe.
Yeah.
I think it'll kind of be like a work your way into barefoot, but if you're like used to barefoot for over a decade, it's kind of hard to stomach for me.
Yeah.
And my cat pissed on one of them, so I can't get the smell out. So I can only wear them when I'm out in the forest or whatever, because if I wear them out in public, everybody's like, what's that smell? So I got these new ones, and I don't know, they just look pretty sweet to me. I can't wait to try them out.
Well, I got to say, if I'm going to pick one of the three vegan ones that I saw from the new lineup here, 20% off, I'm going for these ones myself. But you said you have a
Are
lot of
you?
Prios. This is the one because I do like, I mean, I really like the look of this one. I like this colorway. I mean, there is other colorways, but I'm always drawn to black myself, you know.
Yeah,
But this is the one I'd probably go for. What would you say? You're saying you'd go for the scrambler. You already did.
100%. I already
Yeah.
ordered them. They're already on the way.
Yeah.
Can't wait to
And you
try them
already
out.
ordered the sunrise as well.
Yeah,
Might be
I actually
five
had
chill.
the Prios in my basket, and I'm like, I got the HFS, and I got 3 pairs of Prios. I guess let me know if you like them.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I had the gray Prio. I don't have those here. I think I left that pair in Canada. It's one of those things, right? Like, you know, between Sweden and Canada, I think I have about like four, actually, I think I have five pairs of Xero here, and I have about like three or four back in Canada.
Oh wow. Do you?
Yeah.
I didn't. Do you alternate going back and forth?
A little bit, you know, because I have family back home, so I go there at least for a couple weeks a year, generally speaking, usually more than that actually. But right now I'm going through residency stuff and got to limit the amount of travel I do.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I like to keep stuff in each place. Like I have a skateboard, like a full skateboard set up there, and I got clothing, so I can just go there with a backpack and not need to pack anything.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it makes life a heck of a lot easier.
That's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's about all we really need to cover. I mean, I don't really want to cover like the history of shoes or anything like that. But if you're if you're having foot issues, if you're having knee issues, if you're having hip issues, if you're having back issues,
Yeah.
I would really start at my feet. Because just something being off just a couple millimeters at your foot can have you off inches. By the time you hit your back.
Yeah.
Because your knees are going to be forward, your hips are going to be forward, then your back's forward, and everybody's wondering like, why am I in so much pain?
Yeah.
And the reality is because of that lift in your heel.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And
it's
I'd say too, man, like I'd say like go for it, but go slow, you know, like learn
yeah,
from us, you know, like
yeah,
if you're starting with the, you know, minimalist footwear and then you're starting to go to the gym, well, start light again. Don't all of a sudden just like go up to your heaviest weights and, you know, all of those kinds of things. If you're used to running, you're a runner, well, yeah, still actually just go easy with it. Just take shorter runs for a little while so you don't have to take a week or two off because you burn your legs out in a different way because it really gets you to use different muscles and your muscles in a different way, right? So it takes some time, but it's definitely well worth it for longevity and just for athletic potential. And I think it's worth noting too that you know, beyond the sale, 20% off all their new stuff, they do have a giveaway, right? I think it's 12 days where you can enter to win.
$100.
So
Yeah,
so you can actually enter and enter multiple times to win. So even if you're like, I don't know if I want to try them out, I'd recommend going there through the links below each of our videos, and then you can like just click it and enter a whole bunch of chances to win, possibly get them for free, and then you get a free gateway drug, and you know then you'll be hooked.
yeah. And there's a couple things that I wanted to add that I meant to add earlier. They increased my power output on the bike quite a bit.
Nice.
I used to ride with clipped in pedals. You clip in, and I switched over to flat because of the surgery. I couldn't actually clip in anymore. The power output is so much more,
Mm.
like way more. And when I interviewed him, he actually gave his shoes to a cycling team, and they actually started using them with flats because they were putting out more power with the shoes than they were with the clipped in. And
Wow.
the other thing is if you're a lifter, that's my background. I'm not, the Chris is one of the skinny dude. I am
Yeah.
not the skinny dude. And I was a lifter for 20 plus years. If you switch over to these with lifting,
Mm.
your squats, your deadlifts, everything should go up pretty rapidly because you use your posterior chain. So everybody's trying to grow the butt these days. Your
Mm.
butt's going to grow more and your hamstrings are going to grow more because you're using a better position, especially they call it in the hole. When you're down in the squat, you come in and out of the hole even
Yeah.
more powerful. But I would definitely back off like 25-30% of your maximum weight that you're going to lift in the initial stages because you are going to be sore.
Yeah, you're gonna work it so different, right?
So different,
Yeah.
especially front squats.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot different. Anybody who's used to wearing
Unless you work out in socks, which you know more people are trying to do these days.
more people are trying to do. Let me unless you're used to lifting in these.
Oh yeah.
This damn thing. Let me turn this off.
We need green screens, right?
Yeah, green screens.
I'll slip in my not so skinny one, you know.
If you're used to using these, the
Yeah.
Rome Leos or something along those lines, you're gonna be sore the next day.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because a lot of weightlifters use heel lifts, right, for certain lifts and stuff. But it's just, I think, putting you at a vast biomechanical disadvantage, you know.
It
And
is.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and they're narrow.
yeah, that's one of the
They're
good things we
definitely
didn't even
narrow.
mention. I mean, obviously, if you know much about Xero shoes, they're wide toe box. It allows your feet to spread and move how they're designed to move, and all those good things, breathable, light.
They're actually I say that the Romaleos and these are about the same width, but if you look
Point your toe.
but it's a pointer toe, and it's not going to allow your feet to spread as much as they could.
Yeah.
And if you have a pair of Adi Power, the Adidas version, those things are so narrow. I had to sell them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, this isn't a lifting, but yeah, it's just yeah. If you're a lifter, if you're a cyclist, if you're a runner, if you're a hiker,
Skateboarder.
it's skateboarder.
If you're a human being, if you're a freaking human being.
Yeah. Basically. Check the link out down below. This is basically an infomercial, but I mean, we really, I mean, we both that, it's like, it's just, I don't know. It's so much different, and it's really hard to describe without just going and doing it yourself.
Well, I mean, the truth of it is, right, when you find something that makes a vast difference in your life and changes the whole game for you, you want to share it, right? And I mean, both of us have found that Xero is the best minimalist footwear that we've found, that we've tried, and really love them and love to support them. And Steven's a great guy, like
he is a good
him
guy.
and his wife, Lena, they started this from the ground up, and I feel blessed to support them and to share these sales. And I've had so many people when I've mentioned that they have a sale or mentioned their vegan minimalist shoes and their hemp shoes and stuff.
Yeah, most of them are vegan.
They're so super stoked. Yes, it's awesome. So I don't know. I think it's worth checking out, and especially when they have the the free giveaway going on too. So there's chances to win, and you got nothing to lose but checking something out and possibly winning.
Yeah, and the new shoes are 20% off right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
2 weeks. So give them a try.
Absolutely.
And I think that's about all we really could say on it. I mean, we could go into the history of shoes, like I said, but I think that might put everybody to sleep.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think that's great, man. I think we both have some videos on Xero and athletes using them. I have my friend Grant Campbell, Raw is the athlete. He's a minimalist shoe, long distance ultra athlete. I have a cool interview with him. I'll put below and stuff, but it just makes such a big difference, in pain levels and athletic pursuit and longevity and all that stuff. And it's just it's a shoe win, right? It's a shoe win. So
yeah. I'm also going to be reviewing the two that I've got coming hopefully this week. If I do get them this week, then hopefully I'll get those reviews up next week, but I'll try to get the reviews up before the end of the sale.
Yeah, I want to hear that, man. I mean, I might have to spring and get these new ones myself. I don't know. They're looking pretty nice. The more I look at them, and
yeah, they're pretty sweet. If I was going to get those, I was going to get those bright blue ones.
Yeah, those look pretty sick too. It's funny. I have the water shoe that they have in the bright blue color, which is exactly Swedish color. So it's bright blue and yellow, and it looks like a Swedish flag almost. So, but they're very, very loose. Like they really are better for the water than just regular walking. Because even on a cold day, your feet get a little cold in them. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't buy them. I don't know why. I live on the lake, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't think there's much else we can cover. If there's a bunch of people wanting us to talk more about this, I guess we can make another video.
Yeah, let us know below if this is just like straight shameless infomercial or if you enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know. You never know what kind of comments you might get.
No,
all right, I think that's it. I think that's so. Any comments, questions, whatever, leave them down below. Especially questions in this subject, because I've been doing this now for almost 15 years. Yeah. Or is it 15? I think it is almost. I think it is 15 years at this point. So I got quite a bit of knowledge base, and we've been doing this for about the same amount of time with the barefoot. So yeah, I mean, it's
I
like
love it, man. I love it. When I
30 years between us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I tell you, like the last thing I will say, just another personal story. A little bit of protection is really worth it, especially when you're like, in the city and on concrete and on hot roads. And, like I've had periods of time where I go back and forth between being completely barefoot and using my Xero shoes. And for example, when I'm in Costa Rica, a lot of the time I'm just totally barefoot. But I remember coming back from Costa Rica after being there for 3 months and my feet were pretty damn tough. And I went for a run and I went completely barefoot in the city. And I did about like a 2 or 3 kilometer loop. And it was partial grass, partial asphalt. And it was a screaming hot day.
Oh,
And
asphalt's terrible.
it's horrible. And I felt great. The first loop, I felt great. And then I was like, I'm going to do one more loop. Halfway through that loop, I was regretting it, but my car was parked on the other side and I didn't run the whole, like about the last quarter I walked, but the entire pads of my feet blistered completely and all my toes blistered. And it was like a pain for about 2 weeks. Whereas I would have just used these. I would have gotten the exact same workout, but saved my feet.
Yeah, asphalt will destroy you during the summer. It is terrible.
Yeah.
Concrete, no.
Yeah.
Asphalt, yeah. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the difference is.
Hotter. Maybe it's just hotter.
Yeah, but yeah, concrete,
And hotter.
You're fine.
Maybe not. But yeah, it destroyed
I have no idea. Yeah. All right. Anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think that's great, man. It's fun to come on and to chat with you and to have you on here too. And yeah, it'd be cool to do more.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any questions, like I said, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we'll talk to you in the next video.
Sounds good. Wishing you much. Peace, love, and seasonal fruit.
Xero Shoes Spring Lineup. Check out the sale while it's on.
Ooh, don't forget to check out my raw recipes playlist in the top left, the video just for you in the top right, subscribe for more videos in the bottom right, and get your 3 free ebooks in the bottom left. Grab your free raw recipe app, available on iPhone and Android with over 100 free raw recipes, common fruit and vegetable calorie breakdown, frickin' raw some food combining chart, shopping cart function, and so much more.